Financial Information System. In this video, we are going to see about Financial Information System. The primary objective of a financial information system is to meet the financial needs of the business. It requires working capital management, long-term fund management with a goal of minimum cost of capital. The second objective is to meet statutory compliance like the audited result declaration, obligation to government, tax authorities, banks, and shareholders. Financial management includes the accounting system of the day-to-day functions. The financial budget is prepared in the beginning of the financial year. The financial department receives input from the following areas: accounting information, invoice, voucher, journal entry, audit tax subsystem, sales tax, excise, income tax, financial analysis data, EVA, ROI, stock market data, EPS. Several inputs come from stores, marketing, and personnel department. These inputs generate the following outputs: forecasting subsystem, sales forecast, expenses, capital expenditure, etc. Fund management subsystem, source and uses of funds, cash flow analysis, long-term fund management. Control subsystem, budget, performance ratio, etc. Output subsystems MIS. Operational level, decision or control level, operational level, statutory returns and reports, ledger, trial balance, balance sheet, etc. Registers, sales tax, excise, stock reports, accounts receivable and payable, bank and cash statements, aging reports, decision or control level, return on investments, cash flow analysis, break-even analysis, economic value addition analysis, ratio analysis, stock market information. Accounting Information System. In this video, we are going to see about Accounting Information System. Accounting Information System collects all the data relevant to accounting, provides complete documentation and comprehensive information, and also provides a basis for enterprise-wide control and planning. Accounting information systems are concerned with financial transactions, that is, events, that is, transactions which are measured in terms of money. In many organizations, about 50% to 70% of the total transactions processed are accounting transactions. Although the accounting transactions are under the administrative jurisdiction of the accounting department, yet a great deal of information provided by accounting transactions processed is used primarily by marketing or other functional groups besides accounting. Thus, to a certain extent, accounting systems are not just for accounting, but also provide data directly to other groups or to the information systems of other groups. Accounting information systems are concerned with financial transactions. Financial transactions are those transactions or events which can be measured in money or money's worth. The accounting information systems uses a very highly structured framework which includes several subsystems. The accounting information system generally works on double entry system of accounting, which provides control over accuracy of data processing. Under the double entry system, all debits must be equal to all credits. If the two sums do not tally, it indicates that some error has been made. The accounting function records data about the business assets, the items the business owns such as cash, machinery, and buildings, and its liabilities. It also records data about business revenues and expenses. Accounting information systems use accrual accounting because these systems are oriented to time periods. The accounting function produces reports on the financial state of the business at periodic intervals. All types of businesses require an accounting function, although the details may vary according to type of business. For example, repair business may have to account for spare parts expenses, whereas other business may not. Accounting systems record and report the flow of funds through an organization on a historical basis and produce financial statements such as balance sheet and profit and loss account. These systems also produce forecasts of future conditions such as projected financial statements and financial budgets. An organizational financial performance is measured against such forecasts by other analytical accounting reports. There are two types of accounting systems: operational accounting system, management accounting system. Operational accounting system. These systems emphasize on legal and historical record keeping and the production of accurate financial statements. Typically, these systems include transaction processing systems such as order processing, inventory control, accounts receivable, accounts payable, payroll, and general ledger systems. Management accounting system. These systems focus on the planning and control of business operations. They emphasize cost accounting reports, the development of financial budgets and projected financial statements, and analytical reports comparing actual to forecasted performance. Order processing. In this video, we are going to see about order processing. Order processing involves capturing and processing of customer orders and producing invoices and data needed for sales analysis and inventory control. It also keeps track of the status of customer orders until goods are delivered. This system provides a fast, accurate, and efficient method of recording and reviewing customer orders and sales transactions. Order processing system provides information to inventory control systems regarding orders received so that they can be executed as quickly as possible. Order processing system needs diverse information such as details of price structures, stock availability, minimum acceptable quantity for orders and products, facts relating to facilities, mode, and costs of distribution, knowledge of the available production facilities and the policy and capability of the organization to handle non-standard items, policy of the organization regarding guarantees and returns of goods, the process for invoicing goods to customers and credit control policies of the organization, the availability of advertising, sales, and promotional literature relative to each product, Order processing system is interfaced with following systems: inventory control, order and sales data collection, invoicing, distribution, product design, production planning and control. The input to the order processing system is customer order data. The system processes the orders by checking the inventory levels from inventory master data to ensure whether adequate quantity for the item ordered is on hand, checking the customer credit rating from customer master data to ensure whether the customer credit rating is acceptable. If the sufficient quantity of inventory is on hand and the credit rating of the customer is acceptable, the system produces a sales order as an output from the system. The system stores customer order data. Inventory control. In this video, we are going to see about inventory control. Inventory control. After receiving data regarding orders received from an order processing system, inventory control system records changes in inventory levels and prepares required dispatch documents. This system may then inform managers about items to be ordered and provide them with a variety of inventory status and valuation reports. Inventory control systems help in minimizing investment in inventory and thereby in reducing inventory carrying cost. Inventory control system needs diverse information such as details of sales forecasting, production planning, and purchasing policy. Based on this information, maximum, minimum, reorder levels, and economic order quantities can be determined. Data of actual orders received, production output, and variations in expected pattern of supplies to the organization. For example, delayed deliveries, strikes in supplier's factory, etc. Design alterations and modifications in products to control stock obsolescence. Inventory control system is interfaced with the following systems: market evaluation, planning and control, production planning and control, financial planning and control, order processing, purchasing, production process. The input to the inventory control system are customer sales order data and daily receiving report of materials received from suppliers. The inventory master data in storage contains information regarding item number, item description, unit cost, quantity on hand, reorder point, and reorder quantity. Processing in the system involves updating the quantity on hand in inventory master data from data in sales order and material receiving reports. The quantity received as per the receiving report is added and the quantity supplied as per the customer sales order is subtracted to determine the new quantity on hand. The output of the system is reorder reports from the inventory master data. The system also produces an inventory valuation report generally at the end of each month by multiplying the quantity on hand with the unit cost. The system also updates the inventory master data. Accounts receivable systems. In this video, we are going to see about accounts receivable systems. Accounts receivable systems record amounts owed by the customers and produce monthly outstanding statements. The system also records payments received from customers against invoices, sends reminders to the customers for overdue payments, and provides accounts receivable reports to other functional systems in an organization. After goods are dispatched by inventory control system, accounts receivable system prepares invoices for goods dispatched. This system helps in controlling the outstanding and timely collection of dues, thereby reducing losses from bad debts. The input to the accounts receivable system are invoices raised and payment received from customers. For producing output, the system uses accounts receivable data and customer master data. Accounts receivable data contains information regarding customer number, balance due in the beginning of the month, bills raised during the month and their dates, payments received during the month and their dates for each customer. Customer master data also contains information regarding customer code number, name, and billing address. Processing in the system involves updating of accounts receivable data with the use of invoice data and payment received data. The amount of invoices raised is added to, and the amount of payments received are deducted from the opening balance to compute the new balance due. By using customer name and address from customer master data, the output system produces statement of each customer account and overdue notices. The system also produces accounts receivable statement at the end of each month and updates the accounts receivable data. Accounts payable systems. In this video, we are going to see about accounts payable systems. Accounts payable systems record purchases made from suppliers, amounts owed to suppliers, and payments made to suppliers. They prepare checks for payment of outstanding invoices and produce cash management reports. They help in ensuring prompt and accurate payment to suppliers, which is necessary for maintaining good relationship with suppliers. Accounts payable system provide tight financial control over all cash disbursements of the business and also provide information needed for the analysis of payments, expenses, purchases, and cash requirements. The inputs to the accounts payable system are purchase orders issued to suppliers, supplier invoices, and material receiving reports. To produce the output, the system uses accounts payable data and supplier master data. Accounts payable data contains information such as supplier number, supplier invoice date, invoice amount, due date of invoice, payment made, date and payment amount for each supplier. The supplier master data contains information regarding supplier code number, name, and mailing address. Processing in the system involves comparison of quantity and rates between purchase orders and invoice to determine whether items invoiced were actually ordered as per purchase order and whether the rates charged by suppliers in the invoices tally with the purchase orders issued. The invoices are also compared with the material receiving reports to ascertain whether the items billed have actually been received. If all the above documents tally, the accounts payable data is updated with invoice details and invoice due date is recorded. The output of the system is that on due date checks are dispatched to customers as per the details in customer master data. When the checks are dispatched, the system updates the accounts payable data to indicate the payment of invoice. The system also produces a consolidated accounts payable report at the end of each month. Payroll systems. In this video, we are going to see about payroll systems. Payroll systems receive and maintain data from employee time cards and other work records. They produce salary checks and other documents such as payroll reports, labor analysis reports, etc. Payroll systems help in making prompt and accurate payments to employees as well as providing reports to management, employees, and government agencies regarding earning, taxes, etc. They may also provide reports regarding labor costs and productivity. The input to the payroll system is the employee attendance record indicating the number of days for which an employee has worked in a particular month. For producing the output, the system uses employee master data. Employee master data contains information regarding employee code number, name, address, and pay rate. Processing in the system involves use of employee attendance record and employee master data to calculate payroll data for each employee. The outputs of the system are salary checks for employees and detailed salary statements department-wise. The system also updates the employee work data. General ledger. In this video, we are going to see about general ledger. General ledger systems consolidate data received from accounts payable, accounts receivable, payroll, and other accounting information systems. At the end of each accounting period, they close the books of a business and produce trial balance, profit and loss account, balance sheet, and various income and expense statements. They not only improve the accuracy level but also provide up-to-date information promptly, resulting in higher degree of reliability and better compliance with the statutory and other reporting obligations of the business. General ledger systems ensure easy access to large volumes of accounting information for further analysis in financial decision-making. Financial accounting software packages offer reports on financial ratio analysis, budgetary control, credit management, aging analysis of debtors, etc. In addition to other general ledger reports such as profit and loss account, balance sheet, income and expenses statements. The input to the general ledger system are data on revenue, expenses, assets, and liabilities. To produce the output, the system uses general ledger data. General ledger data contains information for each financial account such as account code number, account name, and the account balance. The account balance is generally the balance in the beginning of each month. The system processes the input data to update the general ledger data. All revenue data, expense data, assets data, and liabilities data for the month are used by the system to update the general ledger data. After the general ledger data is updated, the system produces as an output various financial statements such as profit and loss account and balance sheet. Billing systems. In this video, we are going to see about billing system. The purpose of billing system is to prepare the bills for goods sold to customers. The input to the billing system is sale order from the order processing system. For preparing invoices for sale orders, the system uses customer master data and inventory master data. Customer master data contains information such as customer code, name, and mailing address. Inventory master data contains information such as item code, name, and unit price. The system processing checks the items supplied as per the purchase order and calculates the order amount by multiplying quantity supplied with the unit rate. The output from the system is the customer invoice indicating the customer's name and address, quantity supplied, unit rate, amount, and total amount of the invoice. Marketing Information System. In this video, we are going to see about Marketing Information System. Marketing management functions deal with customers. In marketing, the input comes through the following subsystems: accounting data entry, sales, payments, invoices, delivery notes. Market research data, industrial production, industrial survey. Market intelligence data, competitors information. The reports are generated from those input data. The company may have a relational database system. Data may be stored in different places for the generation of the reports. The output subsystem consists of the followings: product subsystem, sales value, customer, inventory. Place subsystem, zone, area, market segment. Promotion subsystem, dealer, commission. Product mix subsystem, product family. Distribution subsystem, distributor, dealer. Accounting subsystem, receivables, excise duty, tax. The inputs on the left side of figure generate reports under the subsystems on the right side of the figure. For example, the inputs for the product subsystem come from accounting data entry. The reports are used for decision making. The reports that can be generated are as follows: operational level, decision or control level, operational level, product sales ledger, accounting receivables, aging reports, market and competition analysis, complaints of the customers, inventory reports, decision or control level, sales versus sales forecast, expenses versus projected expenses, market share, competitors information. A substantial cost saving is possible through electronic commerce. Internet links to dealers and distributors help in delivering the products to the consumer at reduced cost. Electronic commerce has generated a lot of new developments in the area of distribution of products. Companies are connected with suppliers with the help of internet. The supplier receives orders through the internet and updates his stock position. The company receives all the information relating to the supplier through the internet. Such communication helps to reduce the cost of manufacturing. another new kind of area is also emerging. In this case, several manufacturers jointly order raw materials through websites. A supplier who is registered with a site can supply the material. Manufacturers can thus exploit their full capacity and lower their costs. Following is a list of functions in the area of marketing management that can be considered under MIS. Demand planning, understanding the customer requirement, order execution, accurate demand plans, capacity planning, optimal capacity usage, materials planning, supply alignment, purchasing, lowest total cost. Manufacturing Information System. In this video, we are going to see about Manufacturing Information System. Manufacturing or Production Information System provides information on production or operating activities of an organization and thus facilitates the decision-making process of production managers of an organization. Production managers need information to plan and control the performances of specific product lines and brands. Systems can help in providing price, revenue, cost, and growth information for existing products and new product development. Models may be used to evaluate the performances of current products and the prospects for success of proposed products. Production is an act of transformation in which inputs are processed and transformed into outputs. Manufacturing is an important functional area of an organization which is engaged in producing goods from raw materials. All the organization may not be involved in production activity. Some of the organization may only be in the business of trading, that is, buying goods from one organization and selling it to customers, either as a retailer or as a wholesaler. Such organizations are called merchandising organizations. The concept of production can also be extended to the service organizations, which are engaged in discharge of some functions which have utility, for example, providing services as a chartered accountant. Production management deals with decision-making relating to the production process to ensure that the finished goods and services are provided in accordance with the quantitative specifications and demand schedule with minimum cost. Output of Manufacturing Information System. In this video, we are going to see about output of Manufacturing Information System. The outputs of manufacturing information systems are product design, facility design, production, quality control and quality assurance, product design. Product design, which is also known as product engineering, includes the entire development of product through initial stages until actual manufacturing starts. Preparation of drawings, specifications, the experimental and development efforts of the activities in the product design. Nowadays, computer-aided design, that is CAD, and computer-aided engineering, that is CAE, are used in product design. Computer-aided processing planning, that is CAPP, can be used for better production processes. Computers are used to plan the types of material needed in the production process, which is called Material Requirement Planning, that is MRP. Computer-aided manufacturing, CAM, may be used to help manufacture products. Facility design. It includes plant location and layout. Plant location determines the establishment of an organization at a particular place. It is an important decision because location of plant partially determines operating and capital costs. Each prospective location implies a new allocation of capacity to respective market area. Thus, plant location study needs continuous monitoring. Plant layout is a method of arranging machines, equipment, and other services within a pre-designed building, ensuring steady, smooth, and economical flow of material. Like plant location, plant layout is also a continuous process as there is always scope for making improvements over the existing design. Plant layout designs can be prepared by using mathematical and simulation models for which computers play an important role. The layout software may be used to prepare a new plant or to improve upon the existing one. Production. It includes planning, directing, and controlling of the material supply and other production processing activities. Production planning includes preparing procurement plans for material and personnel, establishing inventory control procedures, preparing work authorization. The task of production planning is accomplished through routing. Routing is the determination of path or route over which each piece is to travel in the process of transformation of raw materials into the finished product. Scheduling. It is about deciding when each operation in a production process is to be carried out. Loading. It is to know when a particular equipment or machine will be available for work on each order or item. Loading provides information about whether the workload is greater or less than the capacity of equipment. Production control is a procedure to regulate an orderly flow of materials and coordinate various production operations so as to ensure that the desired items are produced in the right quantity of the desired quality at the required time at the optimum cost. There are two basic types of production methods: job shop production, in which each order taken by the firm is considered to be a job and accordingly a cost is tagged. For example, aircraft building is identified as a separate job by the customer order. Process production, in which goods are produced at a mass scale for general consumption. As new orders arrive, they are filled on the basis of priority. For such a system, a reorder level is to be identified for the goods stock. Many computational approaches are used by organizations to model the production process as an integrated system. In manufacturing resource planning, MRP2, used in process production, sales forecast is first used to identify the number of products that must be available for shipment at certain points in time. From this, a production schedule is prepared, keeping in view the plant capacities. The other approaches for production planning are just-in-time, that is JIT manufacturing, computer-aided manufacturing, CAM, etc. Quality control and quality assurance. Quality control ensures the final product is of satisfactory quality. It is concerned with detecting existing quality deficiencies and rectifying them. Quality assurance is concerned with the prevention of future quality problems. This ensures a discrete definition of each step of a process and ensuring that we stick to them. Various techniques which are used in controlling the quality of a product include inspection, statistical quality control, and control charts, etc. Manufacturing information systems gathers different types of data from various sources. It processes the data to transform into a meaningful information which is provided to the production manager to facilitate decision making at various levels of management. Human Resource Information System. In this video, we are going to see about Human Resource Information System. Human Resource Information System. Human resource management or personnel function involves the recruitment, placement, evaluation, compensation, and development of the employees of an organization. It includes the identification of existing sources of the labor, the development of new sources, and the need for attracting a large number of potential applicants. Recruitment is followed by selection that concerns selecting the right persons out of a large number of potential candidates. Selection process involves development of application banks, valid and reliable tests, interview techniques, employee referral systems, evaluation and selection of personnel in terms of job specifications. Putting the right person at the right job is the responsibility of placement function, which stresses upon the matching of job requirements with the qualification and personality traits of an employee. Human resource information systems support such as recruitment, selection and hiring, job placement, performance appraisals, employee benefit analysis, training and development, health, security and safety. Sources of human resources information system data. In this video, we are going to see about sources of human resources information system data. The sources of human resources information system data are such as transactional data, functional data, external data, transactional data. Transaction data is a basis for various types of output information or analysis. This data includes employee number, name, qualification, experience, date of joining, etc., categories and grades of posting and performance, etc. Functional data. Organizational plans, that is, the plans for each functional area, also provide an important input in human resource information system. This provides the basis on which future planning for recruitment, job assignment, etc. is made. External data. External data includes data about the availability of personnel trends in the labor force, competitor market offering to the employees, government and labor laws, etc. Human resource information system gathers such data from journals, news items, seminars, research studies, etc. Output of human resources information system data. In this video, we are going to see about output of human resource information system data. The outputs of human resources information system data are such as organizational resource planning, organizational management, payroll and administration, organizational resource planning. It provides proper acquisition and allocation of the resources of manpower to the required areas of work. The smooth functioning of any organizational activity is based on a successful availability and utilization of human resources. Information systems record and track human resources within an organization to maximize their use. For example, a personnel record-keeping system keeps track of additions, deletions, and other changes to the records in a personnel database. Changes in job assignments and compensations or hirings and terminations are examples of information that would be used to update the personnel database. Another example is an employee skill inventory system, which uses the employee skills data from a personnel database to locate employees within a company who have the skills required for specific assignments and projects. Computer-based simulation model may be used to evaluate alternative plans for recruitment, reassignment, and retraining programs. Organizational management. It provides means to evaluate and control the human resources performance. The need to train and develop the employees is felt due to a gap between the job requirements and competence or ability of the employee, the need to develop lower level managers to assume higher level responsibilities whenever required. As the organization exists in dynamic environment and the organizational jobs keep changing, training and development of employees is a continuous activity which includes the identification of training and development needs of personnel at all levels, development of suitable training programs and employee development programs, information system help human resource managers in planning and monitoring employee recruitment, training and development programs by analyzing the success history of present programs. They also analyze the career development status of each employee to determine whether development methods such as training programs and periodic performance appraisals should be recommended. Computer-based training programs and appraisals of employee job performance are available to help support this area of human resource management. Payroll and administration. This is one of the basic requirements for any employee. Proper handling of this function is provided by Human Resource Information System. Information systems can help in analyzing the range and distribution of employees' wages, salaries, incentive payments, and fringe benefits within a company and make comparisons with compensation paid by similar firms or with various economic indicators. This information is useful for planning changes in compensation, especially if negotiations with labor unions are involved. Human Resource Information System gathers different types of data from various sources, processes the data to transform it into meaningful information, which supports decision-making of human resource managers. In fact, these systems cannot function in isolation. They are closely associated with each other and interact with the other subsystems in the organization by way of information. Standing alone, they fail. They cannot provide any strategic use unless they are integrated. Office Automation System (OAS). In this video, we are going to see about Office Automation System (OAS). Office Automation System is considered as integration of office support systems for sharing and communication of information more effectively and efficiently. The functions of office automation are very similar to the functions being handled by the information center. The main objective of office automation system is the centrality, consistency, communication and control of the information. Although office automation means the installation of electronic equipment to handle office functions more efficiently, but the essence of office automation are the integration of office processes and the sharing of controlled information. Thus, the definition of office automation can be summarized as the integration of electronic office support systems for the sharing and communication of information more effectively and efficiently. Office automation is the integration of computer, telecommunications, and office equipment technologies to improve the execution of business functions through increasing the productivity, effectiveness, and working conditions of office support staff. Office automation systems are concerned with handling, controlling, and distribution of the information of the organization. They aim at increasing business effectiveness by the use of technology to prove a significant improvement in both the quality and productivity of work performed in the office by both clerical and knowledge workers. Office automation systems combine various technologies to reduce the manual labor required in operating an efficient office environment. The concept of office automation encompasses the application of computer and communication technology to improve the productivity of all types of office workers, including clerical, administrative, professional, and executive. Office automation refers to the use of computer and communication technology to perform various office functions. The aim of office automation systems is to improve the productivity of manager at various levels of management by providing secretarial assistance and better communication facilities. The various activities in an office can be classified into two categories. Activities performed by clerical staff, that is typists, secretaries, clerks, etc. For example, typing, mailing, retrieving documents, scheduling of meetings and conferences, etc. Activities performed by managers, for example, controlling performance, production of information such as reports, memos, and messages, and conferencing. Characteristics of an office automation system. Characteristics of an office automation system are shown in below figure. Office automation tools consist of devices such as photocopiers, phones, and computer-based office automation systems. Some of these applications are discussed below. Word processing. Word processing refers to preparation of documents such as letters, reports, memos, etc. with the assistance of a computer. Text entered via keyboard is displayed on the monitor and can be manipulated in different ways. The data entered can be edited, stored, and reproduced with the use of very simple commands, thereby eliminating the need of redrafting the entire document. Word processors can check the spelling of the text automatically and can also generate predefined letters addressed to many persons by merging the letter and address through a mail merge program. Office automation system is a multifunctional information system. Computer-based integrated office automation system enables many activities of an office to be performed in an electronic mode. In an office, about 50% of the employees' total time is spent in communication. A considerable time is spent in processing and communication of data. Efficiency in processing and communication of data would result in substantial benefits to the organization. Advantages of office automation systems. The advantages of office automation system are the following. They provide more time to managers to concentrate on their basic job. They improve the quantity of work in terms of content, thoroughness, timeliness, and accuracy. They speed up specific functions and thereby increase the quantity of clerical output. They use electronics to absorb the normal growth of functions. They reduce the time spent on input capture and creation. They help in eliminating routine, boring, or less desirable tasks. They help in reducing administrative detail overhead. They help in reducing the traveling expenses for discussion meetings, for example, teleconferencing. They coordinate and integrate office tasks. They enable more cost-effective and time-effective communications. They reduce the turnaround time by moving information quickly and efficiently to the people who need it. Turnaround time is the time interval between preparation and receipt of messages or documents. They increase the productivity of office workers at all levels. Limitations of office automation. Cost of automated office hardware is very high. Office automation can disrupt traditional office work roles and work environments. Office automation may lead to security problems. For example, an inefficient and unauthorized use of email, fax, etc. may adversely affect the office productivity. Transaction Processing System (TPS). In this video, we are going to see about Transaction Processing System (TPS). Transaction processing systems are the cornerstones of a company's information system and compile their daily business operations. Many companies cannot operate without this type of system. As operations are carried out in the company, transaction processing systems gather, process, and store data and reflect business transactions such as sales, purchases, payments, etc. Transaction processing systems are the most defined or structured information processes in the organization, automating the central core of its operations. Their purpose is to improve the company's routine activities. The most common transactions include invoicing, payrolls, production, and reception of orders. Companies aim to carry out these activities quickly, systematically, and efficiently. All these activities are carried out at the operative level in any organization and have similar common characteristics. These operations are repeated many times in companies. The way these transactions are carried out is very similar in all companies. The activities can be separated into well-understood stages, procedures. The large volume of transactions at an organization's operational level leads many companies to try and develop more efficient and effective ways of processing the data generated through this type of activity. Transaction processing systems are faster and more accurate than the manual procedures used to perform the same routine activities. A transaction processing system replaces manual procedures with computer-based procedures to perform well-structured routine tasks. Transaction processing system output may take the form of transaction documents or database queries. Transaction documents. Many transaction processing systems produce transaction documents such as invoices, purchase orders, or payroll lists. These documents may be classified as action documents or information documents. Action documents. Action documents imply that some kind of action is taken. For example, an airline ticket guarantees that a seat on an aeroplane is reserved, or bank has to pay out money when a check is presented. Information documents. Information documents confirm that a transaction has taken place or informs about one or various transactions. For example, a bank transfer slip with details of the transfer or a breakdown of credit card payments that accompanies the credit card bill. Database queries. A wide variety of information can be extracted from a database using a database management system and user-oriented fourth-generation languages. These queries can provide lists of all transactions processed during a specific time period or error reports with a list of erroneously processed transactions. Management Information System (MIS). In this video, we are going to see about Management Information System (MIS). These can be defined as information systems that provide information for users with similar needs. The main purpose of management information systems is to provide managers with the information they need to take decisions and solve problems. Management information systems are supported by corporate databases, which include data generated by transaction processing. Every organization has to take decisions on many issues that arise on a regular basis, whether weekly, monthly, or quarterly, for which certain information is required. One example is the monthly breakdown of sales figures on a client-by-client basis. Because the decision-making processes are clearly defined, the information needed to take decisions can easily be identified. An administrative information system can therefore prepare regular reports on which to base these decisions. These reports are prepared and presented in a previously designed format. Thus, these systems provide support for structured decisions, since administrators know beforehand which factors should be taken into account in the decision-making process, and the management information system provides clearly structured reports with all the necessary information to take these structured decisions. The content of these reports can be enhanced by including the concept of the management by exception. In this case, the information processor compares real performance with previously established standards, and when performance falls outside acceptable limits, the manager's attention is drawn to the fact. Management by exception can be incorporated into management information system reports in 4 ways. By preparing a report only when exceptions occur, by using the report sequence function to highlight exceptions. The report's entries can be arranged in ascending or descending order according to one or more key areas, such that entries requiring greater attention appear at the top of the list. For example, a sales report could be arranged in descending order of sales for each client during a specific time period. Clients purchasing the largest volumes would therefore appear first. Another example would be sales volumes per item, in which an ascending order would place the products with the lowest sales volume in a given period at the top of the list, thereby alerting the user to least successful items. By grouping exceptions together. In this case, the reports are prepared so the user can find exceptions in certain areas according to a particular criterion. For example, the report could present clients' outstanding invoices in columns arranged by due date, either within 1 month, over 30 days, over 60 days, or over 90 days. This makes it easier for managers to identify outstanding invoices for specific periods in a single column. By showing deviation from the norm. Results of actions are compared with forecast actions, and any difference is presented as a deviation. In the 1960s, attempts were made to develop an information system that would automatically meet all the company's information needs by means of an administrative information system known as the MIS, Management Information System. The MIS represented a formal commitment by executives to make IT available to all managers. The idea of the MIS was to maintain a continuous flow of information to managers. MIS illustrates the relationship between the MIS, the company's management, and the environment in which it operates. The environment is represented at the top of the figure. The central section represents the company's management and the company's various subsystems, and MIS appears in the bottom section. Information and data flow from the environment to company management and to the MIS. In addition, management sends information and data to the MIS, that is MIS inputs, which are processed by information processors, specially designed to provide output in the form of documents and reports to management groups at strategic, tactical, and operational levels, as well as to the environment. The database contains data from the accounts information system and also incorporates data from the environment. Managers define the company's objective and set targets, plans, and standards, center of figure. These plans and standards provide another type of input to the MIS, establishing the basis on which control and feedback can operate. The software uses the database to produce its regular reports. The MIS output should be relevant information sent in the right way to the right person at the right moment. This information must be carefully selected to help the decision-making processes at strategic, technical, and operational levels management. This output is used by those responsible for resolving the company's problems. This information is normally compiled in strategic level reports to provide managers with the information they need to plan activities such as defining and reviewing the company's objectives, setting long-term targets more than 3 years, and establishing company policies. Tactical and status situation reports to enable management to draw up new or revised short-term plans from 1 to 3 years on a continual basis and to perform their planning and control functions efficiently so that the subsystems can be properly coordinated. Operational reports with daily information to keep managers fully informed of the company's current situation, thus enabling them to carry out their control functions. In addition, much of the information the company sends to the environment is provided by the MIS in the form of invoices to clients and salary and tax payments. Because the MIS holds an information system structured in accordance with certain previously determined decisions, it cannot be used to make decisions when an unexpected problem arises. The idea behind the MIS is to help interpret the information needed to take previously defined decisions, and particularly at the strategic level, information needs are not easily identified. Given the limitations of an information system like the MIS in supporting non-programmed decisions, information system designers needed to look at the problem from a completely different angle. Rather than being structured from the perspective of the person who interprets predetermined information needs, the information system should be conceived to give the greatest possible flexibility to the decision maker. In this way, instead of previously establishing what type of decisions are to be taken, information should be arranged according to its origin and type based on decision makers' general knowledge, so the necessary information is available to them when they have to take a decision. The design of a company's database is therefore crucial. It must enable information to be used rationally and must allow the information system to be properly integrated. The company database must be flexible enough to be structured according to the particular needs of different decision makers. This reveals a need for more interactive systems that help the decision maker to take non-structured or only slightly structured decisions. Decision Support Systems (DSS). In this video, we are going to see about Decision Support Systems (DSS). Decision support systems provide a tool to deal with less precisely structured or defined problems that arise sporadically. DSS help managers who have to take non-structured decisions. A decision is understood to be non-structured if there are no clear procedures in place to take the decision, and it is not possible to identify beforehand all the factors that need to be considered in the decision. It must be said that all information systems support decision making, even if only indirectly. DSS have been expressly developed to support the decision-making process. These systems facilitate dialogue with the user when he is considering alternative solutions to a problem, and the system provides database access and models constructed to present information. Decision support systems are interactive and aim to expand human reasoning capacity to resolve specific non-structured decision-making problems. This type of system focuses on the decision-making processes and must provide relevant facts relating to the decision easily, quickly, and accurately. It must also offer interactive access to processing media that can be used creatively and that allow the user to explore a range of alternatives and provide the information necessary to respond to the problem. The system will have a model that combines various factors such as product price, the cost of materials, advertising costs, all of which affect profit forecasts for product sales over a 5-year period. By varying the price of the product in the model, the manager can compare forecast results and select a price accordingly. Unlike administrative information systems, decision support systems can help to make decisions for which a procedure cannot be fully programmed in a computer. To this end, some of the dependent relations between factors and their consequences are shown by computer models, and value judgments are introduced when the manager interacts with the system. spreadsheets, which can help to manage data by representing them in columns and rows in a table, are frequently used to construct simple decision support systems. The main purpose of decision support systems is to help the decision maker in the decision making process. Unlike transaction processing systems and administrative information systems, DSS are not structured or formalized since they are generally used for ad hoc processes and therefore they need to be flexible and adaptable. The key aspect of a DSS is that it supports decision making in situations where computer data processing capacity is needed in conjunction with the criteria or rationale of the decision maker. The main emphasis of DSS lies in its support function and not the automation of decisions. The computer's task is to provide access to data and offer the chance to test the alternative solutions, but it must not replace the manager's criteria. A DSS uses data from the organization's transaction processing system and administrative information system as well as data from external sources. In fact, the data required to generate information can come from a range of sources, not only the database as in the case of the transaction processing system and the administrative information system. Moreover, a DSS can store and later reprocess previously obtained data. The user interacts with the system by making requests, creating or modifying models to adapt them to variations and to help understand the problem, managing data and designing the format and contents of report, which may include text, structured information or figures. In well-structured situations, this information can be identified beforehand, but this becomes complicated in non-structured environments. Decision support systems must therefore be flexible than transaction processing systems or administrative information systems. The manager's own criteria therefore play an important role in taking decisions on non-structured problems. While DSS help managers, they are no substitute for the manager's own criteria. One example of a non-structured decision is the decision banks had to take over whether or not to install ATMS. They had to calculate the cost of both manual and automatic services, the degree of customer acceptance, their competitors' response, etc. Problem resolution with DSS. DSS are interactive information systems that help the decision maker deal with fairly unstructured problems by offering analytical models and access to databases. Personnel DSS should be easy to use. The tools should be oriented to the final user for this purpose. On the other hand, an organization's DSS used widely by different members of a company should be the result of a well-planned process. Within its area of application, a DSS should offer the user a way to apply models and databases interactively that enhances the support it gives to deal with a problem the user faces. The way people in an organization tackle a problem will vary according to how structured the problem is. In other words, it will depend on the extent to which predefined procedures are in place to take decisions on the matter in hand. Principally, DSS helps to take decisions on semi-structured problems where some phases in the decision process often require considerable computer support. This is because a model which can contain hundreds of relationships is applied to a database that frequently contains a large amount of data. The decision maker intervenes in the selection of this data. DSS can also be used to take decisions on non-structured problems. The main tasks facing manager involve a high level of ambiguity. In other words, they generally have to deal with non-structured or semi-structured problems. Possibilities of decision support systems. A model is a representation of something designed for a specific purpose. It is usually an abstraction or a simplification of a phenomenon. A model is constructed by adopting a series of suppositions or assuming a series of premises about the dependence between variables. Various alternatives can then be analyzed by changing some variables and seeing what would happen if the premises were modified, and then comparing the results. What would happen if? Using a spreadsheet as a decision-making support system. The spreadsheet program is widely used in the work environment and is now the standard software used to manage information in the business world. Despite this widespread use, we believe that a low percentage of users take full advantage of the spreadsheet's potential. The spreadsheet could be better exploited by applying the logic used to construct models for the different scenarios. In many cases, poor use of the spreadsheet leads to considerable loss of time, and on occasions, the program cannot be used to carry out some types of analysis. The purpose of the spreadsheet is not to perform complicated mathematical operations. A calculator is sufficient for that. The spreadsheet can also help achieve greater productivity when it is used to perform regular repetitive operations. The spreadsheet also includes logical functions and search functions that allow the user to delegate more mechanical decisions to the computer, such as, for example, if this value is lower than that one, then multiply by X. Hence, when we are about to start a task with a spreadsheet, we can have two aims. To construct a model for decision-making support, in which case our target should be to achieve maximum possible flexibility. To mechanize a repetitive process that we have to do on a regular basis, repeating the same calculations, which should aim to be both convenient and secure. Using a DSS in the decision-making process. The decision-making process has 4 stages. During the first stage, known as the intelligence stage, the environment is explored in order to find or define the problem. During the second stage, the design stage, various alternatives are drawn up for comparison during the selection stage. The solution is then applied and improved where necessary. Spreadsheets are usually used to construct simple decision-making models. Group Decision Support System, that is GDSS. In this video, we are going to see about Group Decision Support System, GDSS. Decision support system focus primarily on individual decision making. However, many a times decisions are to be made by more than one member. Decisions made by more than one member are called group decisions. For example, those affected by the decision can make the decision as group, with a manager as one of the group members, as 2 heads are better than 1. Advantages. Decisions made by a group are accepted by the group's members, and therefore implementation of decisions becomes easy. Decisions made by groups reduce the amount of communication necessary to implement the decisions. Decisions made by groups reduce the amount of coordination required to bring the decisions into play. Since in group decisions, several managers are involved, more solutions are discussed in group situation. Since group decisions involve many individuals, more data and information can be brought to bear on the decision. Disadvantages: groups are slower to arrive at solutions and take longer time to take decisions. Groups can be indecisive in the sense that groups may drag on and on without making any decisions because they can always blame other members of the group for lack of progress. Groups can make decisions by compromising. Groups can be dominated in the sense that highest level individual can influence the group so that the group ratifies his choice. This negates the advantages of group decision making. Groups can play games, as some individuals may use groups to increase their self-image by playing off factions and trying to win points. This too negates the advantages of group decision making. To sum up, group decision-making can be functional for some problems but may not be effective for the other problems. Groups are best used in the following cases. When accuracy is more important than speed, as a group is more accurate than the individual decision maker. When the group is cohesive and works well together with a reasonable amount of conflict. When the coordinator facilitates the achievement of group objectives and keeps meetings on schedule. When the decision requires a number of skills and experiences unlikely to be present in one person. When the group is rewarded for making good decisions. The group decision making can be improved by making sure that higher status individuals in the group are secure enough so that they will not dominate the group's decision process. Encouraging each member of the group to express his feeling, criticism, and doubts. Criticism should be accepted in a fruitful way. Coaching the group to avoid personalized conflicts. Making the group uneven in member, preferably 5 or 7. Including specialists from various areas. Explaining clearly the objectives of the decisions. Group Decision Support System (GDSS) support group decision making to solve unstructured problems. GDSS provides tools and technologies for group decision making. The group decisions are taken in meetings. Managers spend 50% of their time in attending meetings. GDSS provides tools to facilitate planning, generating, organizing, and evaluating ideas. Establishing priorities, documenting meeting proceedings for others in the organization. Components of GDSS. GDSS consists of following 3 components. Hardware, software, people. Hardware. Hardware consists of conference facility, which includes the room, chairs and tables, electronic display boards, audio-visual computers, and networking equipment. This facility must be laid out physically in a manner which supports group collaboration. Software. Software for GDSS is called groupware. Groupware provides functions and services to support the collaborative activities of work groups such as communication, collaboration, and coordination. It is a tool for creating collaborative work environment. It consists of software for group writing and commenting, information sharing, electronic meetings, scheduling, emailing, and a network to connect the members of the group as they work on their own desktop computers at widely scattered locations. This enables the group members to review the ideas of others at any time and add to them, or individuals can post a document for others to comment on or edit. Examples of GDSS software are Lotus Notes, Open Text Live Link, Groove, Email, Electronic Scheduling and Calendaring. GDSS software tools include the following: Electronic questionnaires help in pre-meeting planning by identifying issues of concern. They ensure that key planning information is not overlooked. Electronic brainstorming tools allow individuals to contribute ideas on the topics of the meeting simultaneously and anonymously. Idea organizers facilitate integration and synthesis of ideas generated during the meeting in an organized manner. Tools for voting and setting priorities make available a range of methods from simple voting to ranking in order to a range of weighted techniques for setting priorities and voting. Stakeholders identification and analysis tools use structured approaches to evaluate the impact of an emerging proposal on the organization and to identify stakeholders and evaluate the potential impact of these stakeholders on proposed project. Policy formation tools provide structured support for developing agreement on the wording of policy statement. Group dictionaries document group agreement on definitions of words and terms used in the project. People. The third component of GDSS consists not only the participants but also the trained facilitators and staff who support the hardware and software. Overview of GDSS meeting. The GDSS electronic meeting is conducted in the following manner. Each attendee has a workstation. The workstations of various attendees are connected to the facilitator's console. Facilitator's console serves as both facilitator's workstation and control panel and meetings file server. All data that the attendees forward from their workstations to the group are collected and saved on the file server. The facilitator can project computer images onto the projection screen at the front center of the room. Facilitator is enabled with an overhead projector. The effect of GDSS on group decision making. GDSS support in group meeting makes it possible to increase the meeting size. It also enables to increase the productivity of meetings. It is most useful for tasks involving idea generation, complex problems, and large groups. The documentation of a meeting by one group at one site can also be used as input to another meeting on the same project at another site. GDSS meetings can increase the number of ideas generated and the quality of decisions. GDSSs are more useful for tasks involving idea generation, complex problems, and large groups. The desired results may be obtained in fewer meetings. Drawback of GDSs. The outcomes of GDSs may not necessarily be better than face-to-face meetings. GDSs are complex. Executive Information Systems (EIS). In this video, we are going to see about Executive Information Systems (EIS). DSS mainly support planning tasks, whereas the essential feature of the powerful EIS tool is their support for control activities. An executive who uses an EIS has a greater capacity to analyze all aspects of the company's operations and to seek out problems and opportunities. Since companies timidly began to adopt information technologies (IT), there has been a growing conviction that IT information technologies cannot easily be applied to managerial tasks. The more complex and ambiguous the activity is, the less useful computer-based tools prove to be. This conviction can easily be verified in the real business context. Computers are now widely used by administrative staff and increasingly by middle management. A top-level executive's daily routine is inevitably assumed to be a round of meetings, telephone calls, conferences, conversations, business lunches, etc. Research shows that the executive's activity is more oriented to verbal communication, and highly analytical reports and documents are relatively unimportant. However, there is a widespread interest in linking up high-level management with computer tools. The evolution of information systems. Since its beginnings, IT has clearly been conceived as a source of solutions for business management. The stages described below show the path of its development. First to appear were the Transaction Processing Systems (TPS), which replaced manual procedures for clearly structured routine tasks with faster and more accurate computer-based procedures. Some of the most common transactions now performed by TPS are invoicing, accounting, and payroll management. At the end of the 70s, the concept of the MIS, Management Information Systems, attempted to meet all the company's information needs at the strategic, tactical, and operational levels, structured according to specific predefined decisions. However, in practice, these systems have not been useful to top-level managers because they generally have to deal with a new situation that require non-structured decisions for which information needs are not previously established. For this reason, MIS are particularly suitable to cover the information needs of lower-level managers. Once it had become clear that comprehensive strategic information system models were not viable, decision support systems (DSS) were introduced. These provided solutions for particular decision-making contexts and in the end have proved to be more suitable for certain company staff areas. The idea of providing regular and relevant information to high-level managers has attracted the attention of information system researchers since it was first introduced onto organizations. Different types of computerized information systems have pursued this ambitious goal. Both MIS and DSS were first offered as systems to fulfill these needs. However, many researchers have found that both MIS and DSS, while useful for other levels in the firm's hierarchy, fail to satisfy the information needs of top-level management. It is in this context that Executive Information Systems (EIS) appeared as the next candidate to provide top-level managers with the information they need. These systems have been designed to offer reliable information to executives about key indicators of the workings and operations of their organizations. Executive Information Systems (EIS) concept and characteristics. Capacity to access and manage information. Presentation of information. Orientation to critical success factors (CSF). Capacity for communication and time organization. Ease of use. Access to information. Personalized analysis. Executive Information Systems (EIS) concept and characteristics. An EIS can be understood as a computer-based information system designed specifically for use by top-level company managers, providing internal and external information that they can use as a support in performing their work. Although definitions of EIS vary, there is a general consensus on the characteristics they all share, which we now detail below. Capacity to access and manage information. EIS must gather the internal and external information that is relevant to the executive and must therefore be able to access and manage information from a range of sources and in different formats and handle quantitative and qualitative, structured and non-structured information. An EIS provides direct access to information without the need for intermediaries. Presentation of information. The information must be presented to the user in a meaningful and manageable way, which involves combining data from different sources in the same report or on the same screen and filtering and condensing a wide range of information. As well as its capacity to aggregate information, an EIS must also allow the executive to explore more deeply and obtain additional, more detailed information on a specific aspect if he or she considers it necessary. The presentation of information must be adapted to the user's personal preferences, for example, by offering choices on how the system can alert the executive to deviations in any variable. Orientation to critical success factors (CSF). The EIS must provide information on key business variables and must be flexible enough to adapt to possible changes occurring in the business, guaranteeing that the system remains oriented to critical success factors. For this reason, the design of the EIS must allow for constant evolution. The EIS must be able to accurately determine the user's information needs in order for it to have the right orientation. To a large extent, its success or failure depends on this capacity. Capacity for communication and time organization. An EIS must also act as a support for communication through electronic mail and in organizing the executive's work in the diary or calendar that usually comes with the system. Ease of use. These systems must match the user's profile, in this case people who do not usually have any IT training and moreover do not have the time to acquire it. This means that they must be easy to use and allow direct, intuitive access to their features. The EIS learning curve should be no longer than a few minutes. EIS are one of the most promising tools that technology has made available to companies. They allow an executive to understand and analyze the forces acting in the company and in the market without moving from his or her own desk. Executives use EIS in two completely different ways: to access information on the current situation and on foreseeable business trends, to perform personalized analysis of available data, access to information. When executives have read-only access to the latest data or reports on the situation of key variables, they can examine the information but do little or perhaps nothing in terms of processing the data. This type of access may be widely used in sectors where market conditions change quickly, where executives have to keep up with a lot of reports, or where hour-by-hour monitoring of operations is important. Personalized analysis. Naturally, executives can use the computer not only to gain exclusive access to information, but also as an analysis tool. The type of analysis will vary from one executive to another. Some will simply calculate new ratios or extrapolate current trends for application to future scenarios. Others will highlight trends of particular interest on figures or graphs to gain an additional visual perspective. Some work with simulated models to determine where capital investment will be productive. For this method to be efficient, executives will inevitably spend a lot of their own time and effort in defining the data they need and learning what the computer can do. Users will need at least some initial training and assistance with the computer languages involved. Expert System ES. In this video, we are going to see about Expert System ES. The Expert Systems aims at formalizing expertise and make it available for repetitive type of business decisions. They are not replacements for human domain experts. Rather, they help human experts perform their job more effectively and replicable the expertise at various locations in the business enterprise. They are particularly important where expertise is scarce and therefore expensive. An expert system supports the intellectual work of professionals engaged in design, diagnosis, or evaluation of complex situations requiring expert knowledge in a well-defined area. The expert systems have been developed for the purpose of passing expertise from those with the knowledge to those who need the knowledge in a convenient and easily accessed manner. The objective of an expert system is to tap the mind of experts without the expert having to be present. Expert systems are designed to replace the functions performed by human expert. Expert system is a subject of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is referred to as the capabilities which can be imparted to computers to enable them to display intelligent, human-like behavior, for example, reading and understanding a natural language. Expert systems can be described as programs that help the computer to make decisions in a similar way as an expert in a specific domain, a particular subject area of interest. A wide range of practical applications such as medical diagnosis, quality control, etc. can be computerized. Expert systems can be used to make routine operating decisions that normally require an experienced individual to handle. Each expert system is used only in its own specific area of decision making or domain and can handle only those decisions for which it has had sufficient information, including acts and decision rules stored in its knowledge base or database. When current data is entered into it, an expert system can frequently supply a decision on the condition that is a close equivalent to the decision that would be supplied by a human expert looking at the same data. Although DSS and EIS are powerful decision-making tools, they include only quantitative formulas or models that process data. Expert systems are used in making unstructured decisions. They help in saving the high costs of employing human experts. Expert systems have the potential to extend the problem-solving ability of a manager beyond his capability. Applications areas of expert system. Expert system is a knowledge-intensive program. It solves a problem by capturing the expertise of a human. Expert systems can be used in several areas of an organization, such as accounting and finance, marketing, manufacturing. Characteristics of expert system. Expert systems differ from decision support systems in the sense that, whereas DSS gives a reflection of manager's belief of solving a problem, ES deals with problems beyond the manager's reach. Expert systems have following characteristics. Expert systems perform some of the problem-solving work of humans. Expert systems represent knowledge in the form of rules. Expert systems interact with human. Expert systems can consider multiple choices simultaneously. Advantages of expert systems. Expert systems provide various advantages. The major advantages of using expert systems are: planning, decision making, monitoring, diagnosis, training, extensive use of expertise, timely response, consistent solutions, reliability. Disadvantages of expert systems. In spite of various advantages, expert systems have some drawbacks also. These are: expert systems are not generalized experts or problem solvers. Expert system may take a longer time in solving the problem as compared to experts. Some problems may be too tough to be solved by an expert system. It is not always possible to extract knowledge from an expert. Expert systems take longer development time and are expensive. It is very difficult to make the cost-benefit analysis of using an expert system. Knowledge to be captured may not always be readily available. The experts may have different approaches to a given situation. Means are not available to check whether conclusions of expert systems are reasonable or correct. Experts use common sense, and the common sense cannot be programmed. Vocabulary of an expert is often limited and is not easily understood by others. an ES has a limited sensory experience compared to human experts. Architecture and components of expert system. In this video, we are going to see about architecture and components of expert system. Architecture of expert systems. The functions of an expert system can be classified into the following categories. The input function. The input to an expert system is users' queries through user interface. Generally, a very small amount of input is required from the user. The user interface of an expert system facilitates two-way communications between the system and the user. The information is displayed by the system on the screen, and the users enter the information into the system with the use of keyboard and mouse. The most commonly used format of interface these days is the graphical user interface. The processing function. The processing in expert systems involves determining the rules which apply to the facts and how they interact. The system matches the user queries with the rules contained in knowledge base and determines the sequence of questions to be presented to the user. Based on the user's answers, the system makes a conclusion. The processing in an expert system is performed by inference engine. The output function. The output from an expert system is the recommendation or advice of the system. At times, the system gives several options with an indication of the likelihood that each option is best. The storage function. The storage function of an expert system involves managing the knowledge base. This involves storage, updation, and access of rules in the knowledge base. Different types of expert systems use different techniques for storing knowledge. The most commonly used technique is to use rules. A rule is a if-then structure. If something is true, then something else is also true. Components of expert system. Components of an expert system can be classified into following categories: user interface, knowledge base, inference engine. User interface. User interface is used by the users to input questions and answers. User interface is a means of communication between the user and the computer. Recommendations of an expert system in the form of output are also communicated to the user through user interface. It allows the user to enter instructions and information into the expert system and to receive information from it. Knowledge base. The main component of expert system is a knowledge base consisting of special facts about the expert area and the rules which the ES would use based on those facts to make decisions. Knowledge base represents the total available facts and rules available to an expert. Knowledge base is structured storage of specific facts about the expert area and the rules that will be used by an expert system to make decisions based on those facts. Knowledge base represents data regarding facts and rules available to an expert. Knowledge base contains all information which is required for understanding and formulating the problem and subsequently solving it. Inference engine. Processing in an expert system consists of matching facts and rules, determining the sequence of questions presented to the user, and making a conclusion. The processing in an expert system is called inference, which is done through inference engine. An inference engine applies knowledge in a systematic way. It is basically a computer program which processes the rules contained in knowledge base to arrive at a solution to the user's queries. Inference engine may be termed as the brain of expert systems. It provides a methodology for reasoning regarding information in knowledge base for formulating decisions. Inference engine operates with either forward or backward chaining mechanism or both. A forward chaining mechanism examines the knowledge base and the problem on hand and attempts to discover the solution. A backward chaining mechanism starts with the hypothesis or goal of inference and then moves to knowledge base by asking the questions necessary to confirm or refuse the hypothesis. Inference engine matches the problem symptoms with the knowledge in the knowledge base and generates recommendations. Thus, inference engine analyzes rules in the knowledge base to draw conclusions.